and rain technologies. We got the Jindali operational radar network that covers most of the northern parts of Australia. But one thing I wanted to show you real quick before we get into the 16-day forecast, if this isn't the right link. Here, let me get here. Here's one of the areas that the weather changing antenna arrays are. You're constantly seeing the mainstream media talking about how hot it is in Australia. Well, if you go to each one of these sites where one of these ionospheric heaters are, you could see that most of them, their hottest temperatures are in December. And this month here, on this, where are we at here? Can't remember the exact place here. I have to go back up to the top. But this place is around 46.6 Celsius or 115.9 degrees. That's their record high for the month. For the year, 47.3. But if you go to each one of these weather stations, here's one that's 47.8. This is a completely different one. And they're saying that, they're having these unbelievable temperatures, but their temperatures are right at the yearly average. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, let me go ahead and shut this thing down here so that we're not eating up all the resources. We'll get rid of that. We'll pause this. We're going to do it backwards tonight. We're going to do the 16-day forecast first. Then we're going to jump into all the Australia stuff because we got some major changes coming with the weather patterns. So here we go. We're going to go 16 days out. And what we'll do is we're going to check the GFS. We'll check the United States. We'll check Australia. We'll check Europe. And we're going to go up 6 hours at a time on this one. And we'll just stop at the notable dates, the ones that are going to really be standing out. Mark it on. If it's in your neighborhood, write it down. That way you'll have early warning because we got some mega stuff coming. Anyway, here we are. We're going to go up 12 hours. So just a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow for the upper northwest and the upper northeast. This week coming up is not going to be that bad. But we're going to show you when it does get bad. We got severe storms here on Monday for Oregon, Washington area. And we're going on. I was taking on up into Tuesday, January 7th. See, we haven't had no chemtrails across pretty much the whole midsection of the United States South. No chemtrails the last 2 days. A little bit over in California. Up here, we got the bunker fuel, but that's where the rain and stuff is. So we'll see here. Here's Tuesday, a little bit of rain. We'll see if they're doing any kind of spraying out in front of that. And then here comes some heavy stuff still for the upper northwest, the BC area. I mean, this is just the weak stuff. And we're just going to keep on going up because it's not going to get bad up until next week. So we're going all the way up January 8th. Let's get on past all this stuff because this stuff isn't even worth talking about. January 9th. So we're just going to kind of get through this pretty fast. So here's where a little bit of weather starts coming in on January 10th, next Friday. You got, snow in the upper part of the storm. Not much of the wind. A little bit of rain. Nothing severe at all. And then here we are on January 10th. Just note these areas because these are the same areas that got flooded out over the summer. And then we're going to pick up a little bit on the rain on January 10th, Friday, for the Ohio Valley. And everybody in the green, if you're in the green, little chance of severe storms. Now, here's where it starts getting tricky. Next Saturday, January 11th, we got mega snow starting to come in off the Washington, Oregon coast with the rain. Light snow over Missouri, Kansas. But then we got this ice factor in southern Missouri. Severe storms, tornadoes, definitely possible in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Now we're going to take this up another 6 hours. And this is where it starts getting bad. It's actually going to get way worse the next week, but this is the first wave of the bad stuff because we're talking power outages all along. We're looking at around 9 inches of snow for the St. Louis area, or ice, depending on what it comes down. But this is going to be one severe storm coming in. And back behind this, man, we're going to get hit with some super cold and just mega winds. I'm talking hurricane force winds. So this is where it really starts getting pretty wicked between January 10th, January 11th for the Midwest. Let's take it up another day. And this, here's where it gets really nasty. So we could have more tornadoes down in Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio. And then we got, where you see the frozen line, that could be where the power outages are, and the wind machine's going to start turning on. Let's take this up into, we're still on Saturday, January 11th. So this storm's going to affect everybody on the or the East Coast all the way down. And just keep your eyes up here on these tight wind lines because it's just going to get insane after this storm goes past. Then we're talking major changes with the temperatures. So the Carolinas, same thing. Georgia, severe storms, possible tornadoes. If you're in the pink areas, you're looking at power outages. Now check this out over here. Let me zoom in I think I can zoom in a little bit here. Now take a look at the winds. See, when these winds are real close together, we're talking hurricane force winds, maybe even more, like a Category 2 hurricane winds coming in through BC, pushing this storm off. Going to affect the whole upper Northeast. And look at this wind machine coming in. This is like a hurricane of straight line winds coming in as we go out through the month. Not a lot of precipitation at first, but it's putting the winds in motion. And what's going to happen with these winds, hey, thanks out there, Cynthia, is a mega pattern change with the temperatures. Here we are on January 13th. We got more severe weather for parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, going into Alabama. It's always tornado season from now on. They've done geostorm the sky. So many nanoparticulates up in the sky, nanobots, storm following nanotechnology. That it's always going to be tornado season. There is no end of the tornado season. Here we are on Tuesday, January 14th. Look at the winds are still creeping across at high velocities. The storm's tracking pretty much straight east. Snow in the upper up there in Wisconsin, Minnesota. Rain for Michigan. We're still on January 14th, Tuesday. Let's take it up another 6 hours. It's going to start breaking apart a little bit. But look at these winds coming in. We're talking, we got some high winds. Now, this is where it's going to get really tricky. So if the ground does get saturated from these first few storms, you got these winds that could be toppling trees over, which could lead to power outages, even without the weather, without any kind of rain or anything. We got mega winds coming in. Little rain for the south. And then here comes the next system. Any kind of moisture coming down with this system, it will be like a blizzard. Whether it's rain, it's going to be like a monsoon. You got strong storms for South Carolina, parts of Alabama. This is going on January 15th. And look at this. Look how these winds are just dipping way, way down. It's fixing to get really crazy. These winds are going to be so insane. I've never seen the winds like this. So here's another day with some sleet and ice, a little bit of snow, heavy storms in the south. Let's take this on up. Another tornado day. I mean, we're going to have such wind power with this storm. It's just going to be ridiculous. So even though you got light snow up here over Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, I mean, it's going to be blowing sideways. Severe storms in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, the same areas over and over. And I'm going to show you the rainfall amounts. Now, here we go. This is going to be a major power outage day for all the southern states. So you got not only tornadoes, you got sleet, you got ice storms. This is on Thursday, January 16th, and we just got this wind pattern. It looks like the jet stream is on the ground. You know, I don't know how much these winds are going to be, but they're going to be high. Probably some of the highest winds we've ever seen on this map, and they're going all the way down in Mexico. You think this would be picking up some warm air, but it's not. It's going to be a massive cold front coming down. The cold air is heavier than the hot air, so it's just going to push any kind of warm air away, and we're no longer going to have a mild winter. It's going straight into the polar vortex cold. So we still have the ice storm going on January 16th. Go up another 6 hours. Snow and ice storm in Mexico. Texas, you're going to get quite a bit of snow, quite a bit of ice. It's even going to have sleet and ice in the Gulf of Mexico. So this is one big bad boy of a cold push coming down. I guarantee they're heating the troposphere. They're doing the rapid heating event, which we'll take a look at here in a little bit. So this is going to be going on for hours. You know, we're looking at 12 hours of snow and ice over Texas and Mexico out into the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty much have a blizzard event in the upper Northeast on January 17th. And look at the snow amounts down here in Texas and into Mexico. And you just got a good blizzard going on up around the Nova Scotia area, showing rain. Most likely that's going to be snow all the way through. And then we got the next wave. I'm just going to take this on up some more. We're going to have, 40, 50 inches of snow up over Washington, Oregon, maybe more than that, maybe up to 80 inches of snow. We'll take a look at the amounts. But the whole weird thing with this is the wind patterns. And we got the highest winds I've ever seen going all the way down through the Gulf of Mexico. Freaky stuff. And here comes the second round of winds. But look at this. Look at all this moisture out off the Gulf Coast. They're going to have to be cloud seeding, way down here to get that to pull down that far. We have ice storms in parts of Florida, Alabama, South Carolina. Just take this on up. This is on June 18th, Saturday in 2 weeks. Heavy storms over Florida. Just take this on up. I think that's pretty much second wave of the cold air, but it's going to be really cold now. So this moisture is more or less just going to be kind of blowing around. Nothing real too severe once we get that cold air in here. We're going to take it all the way up, and then we'll show you the temperature maps and the targeted areas of the moisture. Look at this heavy rain band getting ready to come in to parts of California, Oregon, Washington, mega snow. You got over 100 inches of snow up over BC when that comes through. Still got the blizzard, more winds. Here's where they get hit with their ice storm late in the month on January 21st. When you get the ice and the sleet, that's when the power goes out. That's when the cold temperatures are here. That's when it gets tricky. All right, so that takes us up to the whole 16-day. Now, let's put this on the total total accumulated precipitation, whether it's rain or snow. And you can see the target areas mainly right over Alabama, Mississippi, parts of Louisiana, Georgia, parts of Kentucky, parts of North and South Carolina. And then here's the mega amounts over Washington, Oregon, up into the BC area. You know, pretty good stuff right there in Missouri. We're looking at like 9 inches of snow. Let's put the total accumulation of the snow. Get an idea of the amounts. So over here in Washington and Oregon, you're looking parts of Oregon at 87 inches of snow, 76 inches of snow. You're looking, you know, like at 140 inches up over the BC area. They already got hit with like 10 feet of snow. Idaho, 25 inches. St. Louis area, around 9 inches of snow, 10 inches. Over Indiana. Illinois, 5 to 6, 8 over Michigan, 8 over Wyoming, or Wisconsin. Look down here in Mexico, 16 inches of snow in parts of Texas and New Mexico. That's not even New Mexico, that's Mexico. So that's pretty nuts. So that is all the snow now. We need to go look at the temperature maps. So if we can get this on the temperatures. All right, so we can see right now we've been having a pretty mild winter so far. We got a little bit of a cold spell. Excuse me here. Took a drink of the tea wrong. All right. You got some pretty cold temperatures up in Canada, up in Minnesota. You're looking at minus 18, minus 11. Minus 7 in Wisconsin. This is on Wednesday, January 8th, next Wednesday. A little bit of a cold blast. But we're still staying pretty mild. But remember the wind machine I told you about. When all the snow goes down. But check out some of these temperatures coming across BC area that's going to be coming with that wind. Minus 32 degrees up there. Check this out as we go up into Monday, January 13th, the winds are going to be pushing this cold air down. And we're talking Arctic cold. Look at that. In Montana, in Wyoming, Idaho, minus 26, minus 35. North Dakota, minus 22 to minus 25. Now, this is going to be our first really cold blast of air. We're looking at 8 degrees in Missouri, 0 in Nebraska, and it's just going to keep pushing down. Look, down here in the Gulf of Mexico, man, you're going from 74 degrees down to 18 degrees in like 6 hours. So that's going to be one crazy drop, along with the storms that are going to be firing up right across this line. Here we are on January 16th, right when that mega storm was coming through. You're looking at minus 2 degrees Kansas City, minus 3 in St. Louis, minus 19 in Colorado, minus 18 in Minnesota, South Dakota, and we'll just take it on up. So this cold air is going to pretty much hit way down. So once this cold air comes through, the temperatures are not going to rebound. We're going to stay cold for the next, after this first week, 2 weeks after that, or for however long it lasts, man, the polar vortex is here. So it's never going to rebound back up into the 40s, 50s, at least none that I could see. You know, maybe here on the 21st for parts of it. That's the very last day of the 16-day forecast. Other than that, it's going to be flat out cold. So you guys better make sure you got good air filters for your furnaces and a backup heat in case the power goes out. because you might need it here in like a week and a half. So that's going to be pretty major. Now, let me put this back on the moisture, and we're just going to do a quick check. I guess I could just put this on total accumulated precipitation. We're just going to check real quick, like Europe and Australia. We're just going to see where the moisture is going to be to see if they're going to get any. So apparently, where the cyclone is up here, they're not going to let any of the moisture get into the Australia. I mean, just very little. So that all this rain was supposed to go down right through, this whole area. It looks like they're keeping it pushed off. Very little rain, a little bit of rain, maybe over the Sydney area, right where the fire, some of the little bit of moisture over Tasmania. But look, they're going to keep the center of the country dry. And let's go ahead and check the temperatures while we're here. So really, the only place that they're showing is really hot is down here in southwestern Australia. And everything else is relatively cool. But that's going later. It's 384 hours away. So look at all that heat down in the southern part. All right, so I want to go ahead and check Europe one time here. And I was going to put that just on total accumulation. Oh, here's our cyclone that was supposed to hit right where the ionospheric heater is. Look, it's just going to go right on past it. They're not going to let it come into the, they're going to go right around the ionospheric heater and then kill the storm off. Look, it's just going to park right there and die. But then you got a secondary cyclone beginning to develop after that. So they completely, look at that, it's just staying there. So they are definitely steering the cyclone right around the ionospheric heater that's right on the point of that we showed it the other night.